Right, ladies and gentlemen, MrSotko here. Welcome back to the channel. Got a whole bunch of good news stuff for you today. We're going to talk some more about the Bitcoin Cash wars. We got a whole bunch of other stuff too, so it's going to be a pretty good day. Probably. Who knows? But we're talking about Bitcoin Cash, so maybe it won't be. But either way, so the Bitcoin Cash proponents confident that a resolution is in sight. I'm not so confident about that, but let's see what they have to say. So the Bitcoin Cash community entered the third day of its hash war, with many supporters growing confident that a resolution may be in sight. Close to 300 blocks have been mined on the ABC side of the chain using the new consensus rule set, which has also given the network the most accumulated proof of work. So far, ABC is winning, I guess. In addition to the hash battles of the last few days, the first major cryptocurrency exchange, Bittrex, has reopened Bitcoin Cash deposits and given the ABC chain the BCH ticker. So basically, in a nutshell, your BCH no longer exists. It's not going to exist. It's split off into two forks, and whatever the winning fork is in this race of people stabbing each other's eyeballs out, how can there even be a winner from that? Who knows? Your guess is as good as mine. But BCH doesn't exist anymore. Pretty funny. But now it's going to be ABC. So the idea now is like, what is the ticker going to be? So apparently Bittrex gave ABC the BCH ticker, so you might not see a change on Bittrex. But maybe other exchanges, it might be BAB or something like that for like Bitcoin ABC. So we don't really know just yet. But if SV wins, there could be BCH could then become BSV. BSV and ABC, those are the two competing chains now. So it's been a long few days for Bitcoin Cash supporters, but the war seems to be nearing an end in the eyes of many. After the split, the ABC side of the chain remained vigilant throughout the entire process, mining more blocks, but more importantly, capturing more proof of work. The SV side is still moving along, but is behind the ABC chain, and SV has also performed less work. So in case you're just tuning in, ABC is like the chain of sort of original developers of Bitcoin Cash, and they want to make a different Bitcoin Cash. They kind of want to upgrade it and fork it away. And at the same time, SV is Craig Wright's fake Toshi Bitcoin. Because he thinks it's more like Bitcoin than Bitcoin is, or Bitcoin Cash, so he wants to make the real Bitcoin again. So what? And it's supposedly Satoshi's vision, Bitcoin SV. Why not? Sure. So the Bitcoin Cash community got ready to watch the stress test team send large batches of transactions, but according to a few Telegram chat rooms, the stress test, or Satoshi's shotgun, has not been firing so well. Observers have stated that Satoshi's shotgun was no longer able to reach the ABC network. People assume the stress test developers were not prepared to adapt to two different networks. During the start of the test, Bitcoin Unlimited's Peter Risen commented on the stress test matter. The difference in network effect is stark. BSV has few users, no OS X or Windows clients, no block explorer, perhaps one mobile wallet, and a shotgun that doesn't shoot so straight. So many believe the release of Bitcoin ABC version should give confidence to exchanges. Many Bitcoin Cash users have been discussing the ABC's network safety and reliability, with a number of them opining that exchanges should reopen markets. For instance, according to one of the most popular posts today on Reddit forum for the BTC forum, the release of ABC version 0.18.4 with a checkpoint and reorg protection cements the split, anyway. So this means that miners will continue securing the ABC side and N-Chain, CoinGeek, and the rest of the SV miners left on that chain. This means that exchanges can resume deposits, and we should urge them to do so, everything so they can get back to normal. The Reddit post explains, one Reddit user explained that he is confident ABC chain is now Bitcoin Cash due to the most accumulated proof of work. So again, Bitcoin Cash is no longer there, and it's just going to be ABC. The problem I see with that is if we take a look, we just kind of come along right over here to CoinMarketCap. You can see that Bitcoin ABC is worth $253 a coin. Okay, well, let's check on Bitcoin Cash. $393 a coin. So well over $100, about $140 or so more than ABC. So if you have one Bitcoin Cash and you log on to an exchange after this is all over, you may find yourself holding on to one Bitcoin Cash ABC. But the problem with that is that the price of it is actually lower than Bitcoin Cash. So Bitcoin Cash eventually should be removed from here, and it should just be Bitcoin Cash ABC. But we don't know yet. Nobody knows. So is this number 4 market cap coin going to go away? Because a coin with only $253 at the same volume or circulating supply is going to be less than Bitcoin Cash. So you're actually going to lose money on this. Again, I'm not certain of that. I don't think anybody's certain of anything with this Bitcoin Cash deal going on right now, but a lot of exchanges are going to use BCH as the ticker for ABC. But if that's the case, then the market cap of Bitcoin Cash is going to slump dramatically. Now, the same thing with Bitcoin SV. SV is actually valued even cheaper than ABC. So if SV wins all of this, and then we have a Bitcoin Cash SV, or BSV, so far BCHSV, but that's just a tentative, ticker, then you're actually going to lose a lot of money. And you're not going to get like multiple coins that would equal the amount of Bitcoin Cash. You're going to get one for one. So very, very, very interesting, or at least supposedly you're going to get one for one. So, wow. Okay, so that's really confusing. So let's take a look at the total Bitcoin Cash proof of work by network. As you can see, ABC is the yellow line here, accumulating much more. Red is the SV line, accumulating much less. I also have a Ran Nooner post here. Bitcoin Cash hash rates by network. All right, so Craig Wright was talking about how ABC was being a sprinter and wouldn't be able to handle it in the long run. And so here we go with Bitcoin Cash. This is Bitcoin Cash's hash rate in the gray. So it started to go down, and then as you can see, it split off right here. And ABC took off like a lightning bolt. And SV, kind of the turtle versus the hare here. And eventually we're actually meeting at the same place in terms of hash rate. So both of these people are selling off a lot of Bitcoin, maybe even Bitcoin Cash, in order to fund this hash rate war that's going on right now. So a lot of Bitcoin is being sold to essentially buy the hash rate to rehash into SHA-256, but at Bitcoin, SV, and ABC. Interesting, I know. But so we'll have to see. But just because SV pulls ahead in the hash rate, since ABC has been ahead the whole time like this, they've actually accumulated more blocks in that time. They've done more proof of work in the time that SV has. So this is like a race of the turtle and the hare. So the hare takes off really fast and winds itself out, whereas the turtle just kind of goes along slowly. So we'll have to see how this is going to work out. But right now, nobody knows anything. What ticker is going to be what coin is going to win out of this? What's going to happen to Bitcoin Cash? Is it still going to use the same ticker regardless of what wins? Nobody knows. But another Satoshi message attempts to sway public opinion, but it fails for the next article here. So during the second day of the Bitcoin Cash hash war, a few cryptocurrency enthusiasts came across a message that appeared to be a valid signature for Satoshi's key in block 9. The address contained a message which warned of some issues with the SegWit protocol in the Bitcoin chain. Furthermore, the owner of CoinGeek, Calvin Ayre, tweeted out to his followers a small statement in regard to the Block 9 key signature and stated that Satoshi lives. Ayre also tweeted a message from Twitter called @Satoshi, which led to a few other tweets about the message. So it says, I do not want to be public, but there is an issue with SegWit, explained the signed message in the tweet from the now deleted but archived Satoshi handle. If it is not fixed, there will be nothing, and I would have failed. There is only one way that Bitcoin survives, and it is important to me that it works important enough that I be known openly. Yeah, did you get what that meant? No, either did I or anybody. That was written super bad, and the grammar was horrible. So basically, some people think that like Satoshi wrote a message into the block that's saying, there's an issue with SegWit. I don't like SegWit. If it's fixed, it's going to fail, and blah, blah, blah. But that sounds a lot like Craig Wright. And I like this picture of Craig Wright right here. He's like, hey, guys, take a really cool looking picture of me. I'm going to stand in front of all this gibberish, on this glass screen here that somebody probably already had up in the math department here. And I'm going to go stand in front of it with a marker and look really cool and look in the other direction. I won't even look in the camera. I'm going to be like, yeah, look, I wrote all this gibberish math. What does it all mean? You don't know, but it looks real mysterious. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we could kind of take a look at it, kind of devise maybe what it's all about. But who cares? You just look super cool, Craig Wright, even though I hate you and everybody else does. So it's just more proof of nothing. And this is the signature. And Andreas Antonopoulos says, LOL, every message fake Toshi writes disproves his attempted fraud. The real Satoshi was capable of forming sentences with punctuation and grammar. We have plenty of samples, both formal and conversational. None were sloppy like fake Toshi. Blocking at Satoshi, you should too. Oh, good stuff. So more like secret messages in the Bitcoin code that turn out to probably just be Craig Wright, like just messing with the code and writing things into it. So awesome. So moving on from there too. So in case you guys see that, it's just nonsense. ICO issuer faces up to 5 years in jail over defrauding investors. So Maxim Zaslavsky, oh man, Russian names. A Brooklyn businessman will be sentenced up to 5 years imprisonment after pleading guilty before a New York federal judge for deceiving cryptocurrency investors. Oh no, not again. This would never happen in the world of crypto, ever. So he's the owner of the now defunct initial coin offerings, Recoin and DRC World. So in September 2017, the SRC shut down the 2 ICO projects for violating federal securities laws and working as Ponzi schemes. So Maxim was marketing Recoin as the first ever cryptocurrency backed by real estate and claiming that he had raised 2 to 4 million by selling 2.8 million Recoin tokens when in reality he had around 300,000 from 1,000 investors. So Maxim's second ICO, DRC World, also known as Diamond Reserve Club, offered membership in an exclusive club where investors had access to virtual coins claimed to be backed by diamonds. And after the SEC charges, a team of New York's federal attorneys and specialists from the FBI found that Maxim's neither possessed real estate nor diamonds. Who would have thought? Who would have thought that he didn't possess either of those? The Recoin and DRC World owner was selling worthless certificates, according to Richard P. Donahue, attorney for the Eastern District of New York. So, jail time for you, my friend. Fake ICOs. And I'm kind of glad the world is like actually cracking down on fake ICOs and stuff, because this guy would have genuinely gotten away with millions of dollars, essentially, or hundreds of thousands or something, from everybody had, regulation not kicked in. And I don't mean to say that like I like all regulation and the government stepping into my crypto, but from time to time, it is nice to see like some scammers get caught. Because BitConnect is just totally fine. Basically nobody got caught. I think like one of the CEOs in India got caught or something. But for the most part, a lot of these coins like that. I remember Devor Coin and I think Falcon Coin. Those developers never got caught. So they got your Lambos, and you got nothing. Nvidia enters a nosedive after an underwhelming third quarter. So this is kind of a recurring thing for AMD and Nvidia. So tech company chip maker Nvidia experienced a 19% drop, or a 19 drop in its stock price. The drop comes in, amid an unfavorable and underwhelming progress over Q3. Despite this, NBC reports on NVIDIA's earning report, which indicates the company revenue rose by 21% in Q3 year over year. So NBC's Jordan Novitt breaks down the company's earnings over the quarter. $1.83, $1.84 per share, excluding certain items, versus $1.71 per share as expected by analysts. And the revenue is $3.18 billion versus $3.24 billion as expected by analysts. So I don't know, not too bad. But during Q2, Nvidia also failed to meet the bar set by analysts in terms of guidance. So said it's expected $2.7 billion in revenue in the fiscal fourth quarter, plus or minus 2%. Following up on Q4 predictions, Nvidia CFO Colette Crest said, our Q4 outlook for gaming reflects very little shipment in our mid-range Pascal segment to allow channel inventory to normalize. Wow, nice corporate word salad there. NBC reports it's become less profitable to use graphics GPUs for mining, according to a recent analyst by Susquehanna. Because you need an analyst firm. Why aren't they just paying me? They could have just literally asked me that. It could have been like, and call me, be like, hey, NBC, we want you to, we want to understand why Nvidia is going downhill. I'd be like, because mining sucks. And they're like, okay, thanks. Like, they didn't need an analyst firm. How much did that firm make to, seriously, guys, how much was this firm paid to analyze the profitability of GPU mining? That's just, I mean, like, how long that would take me? Like 3.5 minutes max. Like, it would take me longer to start up my computer. So anyway, our near-term result reflects excess channel inventory post the cryptocurrency boom, which will be corrected. So they're getting a lot of parts back. Essentially, they've got a ton of rigs, they've got a ton of cards that people have sent back, and they're also sort of getting rejected in terms of their, all the chips that they're ordering. They don't need to order so many chips. They have to send the chips back because they don't need to produce as much. So it's causing a pretty big issue. And you know what? I think something that sort of bit them in the foot on all this was, putting the price of the 2080 Ti series, the 20 series, the RTX series at $1,300 for the 2080 Ti, and so on. So basically, the cards are over $1,000 each, whereas the last generation of cards were, at best like $699, like $700 for a 1080 Ti, $600, that sort of thing. And so it's a dramatic difference. It's virtually 2 times the price as the last generation. That seems okay. It seems like, all right, well, certainly there's new technology in this, so, the people should pay just a little bit more than the last series. Well, that's okay. Surely I would like it the same price as the last series, but let's give them the benefit of the doubt on that one, that it cost them a little bit more to make it. But twice as much is pretty ridiculous, and a lot of people didn't want to buy them. While they are sold out, it would seem to me that they could have probably made more money by producing more cards and putting them at a lower price and then selling them, and they would have sold vastly more cards to people. And they could have worked out the price in such a way that they would make more by selling more cards at a slightly lower price than less cards at a slightly higher price. But Nvidia not doing too good. I remember last year that Nvidia was like, we don't know how much money we're making from mining. Their stock is basically like completely vertical going up, and they're like, well, we don't know what kind of impact crypto is having. We feel that crypto isn't having that big of an impact. We feel that we don't know how much it's having an impact. And I could have told them, I think most cryptocurrency miners could have told them, how about all of your money? How about like all of it? It boggles my mind that a corporation can't just hire just somebody off the street and be like, hey, like we'll give you like, hey, you bum over there. And I'm like, hey, what's up? And I'm like, I'm not a bum though. Like, well, to us we are. And I'm like, okay, fair enough. And I'm walking down the street. I got my Starbucks or something. Like, what do you think? How much? What do you think all of our money's coming from right now? Like, are you into cryptocurrency? I'm like, I sure am. And then they could have been like, where do you think all of our money is coming from? I'd be like, cryptocurrency. Have you taken a look at Newegg or Craigslist or OfferUp, or have you taken a look at the empty shelves in Best Buy? Do you think that all of the gamers, since your 1080 Ti's are actually a year old at this point in 2017, do you think all the gamers all of a sudden just got a bunch of money and they're all going to Best Buy to buy 14 graphics cards apiece so that they can do 14-way SLI for their new video games that are coming out for Fallout 4? I don't think so, right? Gamers don't buy that many graphics cards. I'm a gamer. I would know. I'm also a miner. I would know, right? How many graphics cards do you need to game? One of them. Or 2 if you want SLI. 3-way and 4-way SLI is junk. It never really worked in the first place, to be totally honest. It was always messed up and hard to get running. So 2-way SLI at best. So like 2 graphics cards at best that you need for gaming. And then, trust me, SLI is really not that amazing. Most games don't even utilize SLI, so having 2 graphics cards for gaming is, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So, I wonder where all your graphics cards are going. I wonder why all the shelves are completely gone. But they could have probably did something along with that. They could have probably shaped their business around that, created some kind of miner or something like that, or sold their graphics cards for a little bit less so they could sell more of them, and so people wouldn't want to return them. Because now you have to talk about, like, okay, our graphics card is worth $700, but it's only making people $1 a day or $3 a day or 50 cents a day. You have to take that into consideration on how much you're going to sell your graphics cards for at this point, because at this point, graphics cards, ASICs, everything like that are money making machines. They're also gaming machines, and they want them to be gaming machines because that's Nvidia. But in a miner's perspective, it's a money-making machine. How much money is this going to make me per day, and how long is it going to take me to pay off this card? And if crypto goes down, the price of graphics cards needs to come down as well. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and well, we're at 182 billion market cap, and still not going anywhere yet. 5,500 Bitcoin, but we'll have to see how things go. But there's a little pump in XRP there, and as you can see, since XRP has taken the number 2 spot, I kept saying this for weeks now. Every time that XRP takes Ethereum's spot, I say if it stays in the spot, it will jump way up in price. And look, now it's well over Ethereum's by $2 billion. And is still going up. It is the only coin that is really going up that much. Well, Stellar's kind of going up as well. But it just goes to show, if XRP stays in the number 2 spot, it will create a nice sentiment in people's mind, and it will continue to go up. But I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time.